Chris Sutton has fired a direct warning at the Celtic board over the backroom standoff, and he has made it very clear that O'Neill is now in a position of real power. There is also a major new development around who could be standing beside the manager next season. A former Celtic flop has sealed a £4 million move to Germany, and two familiar names from the Celtic Academy are making headlines on and off the pitch today. Let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Chris Sutton has come out firing at the Celtic board over the ongoing backroom standoff, and his message is direct. O'Neill is in a position of strength right now, and the club should be doing everything in their power to give him exactly what he needs. O'Neill has been confirmed as manager on a one-year deal with the option of a second, but the wait for clarity on whether Sean Maloney and Mark Fotheringham will remain part of his staff continues, and Sutton is not prepared to let the board off the hook on that front. Writing in the Daily Record, Sutton addressed the transfer situation first, saying he believes the Irishman would never have agreed to stay unless assurances were already in place. He wrote, "I've not spoken to Martin, but I have to assume he has been given certain assurances over what kind of backing he will get in the transfer window this summer. There's no way that he would have decided to go again if he felt he was in for another campaign like last year, where he had to cobble together a team at times and somehow find a way to get over the line." He then turned his attention specifically to O'Neill's position, making it clear that this is not the same situation as 12 months ago. Sutton added, "Right now he is in a position where he can say, 'Give me what I want,' and you have to think this time the Celtic board will listen." Those words carry real weight. O'Neill delivered a domestic double against all the odds last season. He steadied a dressing room that had been through multiple managers, multiple crises, and public supporter unrest. He has earned the right to name his terms. The board have the chance to get this right. Sutton is making clear that getting it wrong would be another act of self-sabotage. Now for the main story, as Celtic have reportedly held talks with former Celtic defender Efrain Juarez about joining Martin O'Neill's backroom staff, with an intriguing long-term dimension attached to the report. According to Mexican outlet Juan Football, the 38-year-old is being considered for a coaching role under O'Neill, with the suggestion that Celtic see him as a potential future manager candidate further down the line. Juarez played for Celtic after joining from Pumas in 2010 and knows the club, the environment, and the expectations that come with wearing the hoops. He has been building his coaching career since retiring from playing and recently left Pumas. He is reportedly open to returning to European football, and a return to Celtic could offer exactly that pathway. The plan as described in the report would see Juarez working under O'Neill initially, gaining inside experience of how the club operates at the highest level, before potentially being considered for a bigger role when the time comes. That timing angle is what makes this one genuinely interesting. O'Neill is 74 and signed a one-year deal with an option for a further year. The club has been asked repeatedly what the long-term plan looks like beyond his tenure. If this report is accurate, Juarez could be part of that answer. It is important to stress this is a report rather than a confirmed appointment, and it needs to be treated as such. Nothing is official. The backroom situation around Maloney and Fotheringham also remains unresolved, and any movement there would have a direct bearing on what any new addition to the coaching staff looks like. But if Celtic are genuinely holding talks with Juarez, it shows some forward planning from the club at a time when long-term thinking has often been in short supply. One to watch very closely over the coming days. In other news, Simpson-Pusey has sealed a permanent £4 million move to FC Cologne after leaving Manchester City this summer. Simpson-Pusey spent the second half of last season on loan at Celtic, and very few supporters would say the spell was a success. He struggled to force his way into the team during the title run-in, with the pressure of that campaign leaving little room for a young centre-back to find his footing. Chances were limited, and the move never really gained any momentum from either direction. But the story does not end there, because Cologne clearly saw something that Celtic did not get to see on a regular basis. After joining the German club on loan, Simpson-Pusey became a key player, built real confidence, and has now been signed permanently for a fee that reflects the belief the club have in his future development. He said, after completing the move, "I played a lot of minutes, and the club put a lot of trust in me. I'm thankful for that, and that's why I wanted to stay in Cologne. The game time, the fans, the club, that has all felt really good for me from my perspective. That tells you everything. He needed minutes and trust. He did not get them in Glasgow, but he found them in Germany, and now he is worth £4 million because of it. For Celtic, it is another reminder that loan deals only work when there is a genuine plan behind them. Simpson-Pusey clearly had ability, the German market agreed. The question of whether Celtic used their time with him as well as they could has an obvious answer. In other news, Andy Halliday has raised the Ben Doak question today, and it is one of those conversations that will sting Celtic supporters no matter how many times it comes up. Doak left Celtic for Liverpool as a 16-year-old, taking one of the most exciting wide talents to come through the academy away with him. Since then, he has continued to develop at Liverpool and establish himself as one of Scotland's most exciting young attackers, direct, brave on the ball, always wanting to commit defenders and make things happen, rather than simply recycling possession. Halliday, speaking on Open Goal, did not hold back on just how highly he rates the player. He said, "Imagine if Celtic managed to keep hold of Ben Doak until he was about 18 or 19. He is ridiculous. So good." That is a very fair point. Celtic are heading into a summer where finding a genuine right winger is one of the primary objectives. A direct, energetic, attacking-minded wide player who can drive at defenders is exactly what the manager needs. And Gannon Doak is exactly that kind of player. A return to Celtic is not realistic at this stage. His wages, his development pathway through Liverpool, and his age all point in a different direction. He is preparing to feature for Scotland against Haiti tonight, which says everything about where he is in the game right now. But the conversation keeps coming back because the profile Celtic need this summer is the one Gannon Doak already has. He is a reminder of what was let walk out the door, and he is also a reminder of the quality that O'Neill needs to bring in before the window closes. Lastly, Hyeon-gyu has revealed a remarkable story behind his winning goal for South Korea at the World Cup, admitting he was battling fever, high-altitude sickness, and a severe stomach bug before coming off the bench to score the decisive strike against Czechia. The former Celtic striker could barely get out of bed on the day of the match. South Korea's medical officer Baek Jong-guk said he did not believe Oh would be able to play at all, let alone make an impact in a World Cup game. Oh himself confirmed just how serious the situation was, saying, "I had a fever before the game and my temperature was up at 38 degrees, so I really wasn't sure if I would even feature. I had problems with the high altitude and I had a severe stomach bug. But for me to score in a game like this was the best moment in my career. It was incredible and I have to thank my teammates." The medical officer added, "He was in so much pain. I didn't think he would be able to get out of bed, never mind play in the game. I didn't think there was any way he could possibly play. We gave him urgent treatment because he had such a high fever. And yet he came off the bench and scored the winner anyway. That is a special kind of resilience." That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.